Hey guys, this week on the Raw DVD Watchers, I'm going to be reviewing the Asian horror compilation movie, Three Extremes. As you can tell by the title, it's three short horror films from different countries. Three different countries. You have movies from China, South Korea and Japan by three different directors, all of whom are pretty famous, in the Asian kind of horror or Asian film world in general. The first movie is from Hong Kong. It's by a director called Fruit Chan. It's called Dumplings. And it's about this kind of actress who wants to maintain her youth, and her husband's off cheating with other people, and she finds out about this woman who cooks dumplings with a very special ingredient which supposedly prevent you from aging. And I won't tell you what the secret ingredient is, but just bear in mind this is a horror film, so you can kind of guess in some ways what it is, and it is pretty gross and pretty shocking what it is, what the ingredient is. It doesn't kind of, hide the fact. It's not a movie where, you'll be dying to find out what it is, and, it's not going to reveal it at the end of the movie. It pretty much reveals in the first few minutes, first 10 minutes or so, what this ingredient is, and the movie itself isn't excessively gory or shocking or anything. It's more the kind of, it's not shocking in what you see, it's shocking afterwards when you think about, what's going on in this film, and the ending is pretty twisted, but like I said, it's not gory, it's not bloody or anything, it's just quite twisted and dark in its nature, I guess. The second movie is by Park Chan-wook, which is probably, of the three movies, the one I was kind of maybe the most excited about seeing. Park Chan-wook is a very famous Korean director. He directed the Vengeance trilogy, so Old Boy, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and Lady Vengeance, so I was pretty interested in seeing that one. His movie is called Cut, and it's about an extra who kidnaps a film director and his wife, and he kind of forces them into this sadistic kind of game. So it's a Saw-esque kind of movie or short film, and it was probably my favourite of the three movies or the three films, I'm not sure, but basically it's about this extra, like I said, who's pretty crazy, and he kidnaps the director and the director's wife, who is a very famous piano player, I think, and if he fails in playing this game, the extra is going to cut off the wife's fingers. Again, it's a very kind of he ends up playing the people against each other, and it's set in one room, and I don't know, it's probably the most exciting of the three films. It's not particularly scary in its tone or anything. It is the goriest of the films, but it's the most interesting, I guess. It goes by very quickly, and I don't know, it held my interest the most out of the three movies. So Box is about this young woman who has these strange reoccurring dreams of her being buried inside this box in the snow, and as the movie progresses, or the film, I keep calling it a movie, the short film, or the segment of this movie progresses, you find out about her past and how her and her sister used to be contortionists, and used to, when they were younger, I guess it's like a travelling circus or something, and they used to fit inside these tiny little boxes, and you find out about the past, and like I said, it's a very creepy film. It's the creepiest of the three. And in that sense, it's probably the scariest segment of the film, just because it's very creepy, and just the tone of it is very strange. And I think anything to do with children in Asian horror films is normally pretty creepy, so that's probably why this one is the creepiest of the three. The whole movie in general, Three Extremes in general, is a really great, it's a very great collaboration film. If you've seen I don't know if there's ever really been another movie like this. I mean, obviously Creepshow is different segments, different stories inside this one film, but that was all directed by the same director. This is really interesting because it takes different directors from the Asian horror film world and sticks them all together. There was that series, Masters of Horror, which was on a while ago, which kind of did a similar thing, but this, takes all three short films and sticks them into one. Dumplings, which was by Fruit Chan, has been extended into its own feature-length movie, but I haven't seen that, and I'm not sure if I want to. I mean, now I've seen the shortened version. If it's the same story, I don't know if I really want to see a longer version of it. I did enjoy that. It was probably my least favourite of the three, but that's not to mean it's a bad bad section of the movie. It was a really great film altogether. There is a sequel called Three Extremes 2, which technically is actually the movie that came before this one. This was released in the US as the first Three Extremes, when in fact it's actually the second, and the second movie is actually the first. So if that makes any sense whatsoever. But yeah, if you're a fan of the Asian horror movie or Asian movies in general, you're probably going to recognise at least one of the directors, and you'll want to see it because of that. Because if you're a fan of Takashi Miike or Park Chan Wook like I was, then you're not going to be disappointed, because it is their sort